Well, we've arrived in Stonegate. Now to see what more hijinks we can get up to.
Whew, that was tiring, but we're finally in Mondstadt. The quest to plumb the wondrous depths of knowledge is indeed arduous.
Paimon's not tired.
Ugh, that's because you float.
Well, it doesn't look like an astrologist is all that amazing either.
That's because you have too many unrealistic fantasies about astrology.
Are you also resting your feet here?
Who are you?
Oh, my brothers and I are all merchants. We just finished doing business in Liyue, and we're preparing to head back to Mondstadt. You look rather tired. The cart we hired will be coming in a while. What say you to coming along for the ride?
Would I have to pay for that ride?
No need. We're already heading that way anyway.
There's no need. Now shoo, get out of our way.
Huh? Miss, is there something wrong?
Cease your pretensions, bandit. Picking up people on the road who appear vulnerable, robbing them blind once they've gotten on the cart, and then taking them to some Archon-forsaken place. Is that your deal?
What are you saying? We came over here to make conversation, and this is how we're rewarded? With insults? If you don't want to get on, don't. Crazy girl.
Well then, shall I tell you now which objects you have on you that are stolen? If you have any quibbles, we can bring people to corroborate what I've said, and all will come to light. If I lose, I'll pay you 20,000 mora. But if I win, then you'll be eating prison rations in Liyue Harbor tonight. How about it? If you're real legitimate businessmen, there's nothing to fear, is there?
You've pushed it too far, brat. I don't know how you found out, but as long as we get rid of you, no one will have to know.
Oh dear. Very well then. You will not touch her. Bandit indeed.
Don't fret, it's just a few bandits. You said earlier that there was nothing amazing about astrologists? Well then, this is a good time to show you what your master—
You're finished!
Bow your head. Wrong test subject. This is order.
Done.
What did you think? Did that satisfy your expectations?
It's impressive that you saw through those bandits.
Such things are elementary for an astrologist. Lies are worthless before astrology. Destiny and truth are written in the stars. Though it may take more time to garner the specifics, I can read the gist of a situation at a glance.
But you did hit some bumps in the road.
That's because Tivat's stars can only display the fates and truths of this world. Anything related to you becomes like a fog that even I cannot penetrate.
So, does that mean that you would be incapable of locating Lumine? Your astrology is blocked in some manner. I wonder why that is. I do seem to recall hearing... Well, Wanderer Scaramouche at one point claiming the stars were fake. I wonder how that would affect Mona's career. And what that truly implies about the world if it's true. And whether or not this could be considered proof of it.
That is why I must meet that successor. With our knowledge combined, I might be able to gain new insight into your fate.
I hope you do.
Whatever the case, you've got everything to gain from this trip. All right, I'm rested. Let's get this journey to Mondstadt over with.
If only we had a cart.
I thought you weren't tired.
Indeed, Paimon. Bewildering fate. Well, we might as well head over and find out what is meant by bewildering. Of course, from the meta perspective, our perspective as the player, unfortunately, we cannot actually expect Mona to be able to answer our key questions. For instance, where exactly is Lumine at this moment? How would we find her? That can't be answered by Mona because it breaks the rest of the story. Though it will be interesting to hear how they justify her lacking the ability to answer.
Are you ready? Don't shame your master now. We're about to meet that successor.
Despite our time together, I can't tell fortunes or read the stars.
I guess. Wait, no. It won't do if you have no idea at all, even if you are a fake disciple. We have a rule that forbids us from teaching outsiders, but I suppose I could teach you. My astrology is based on hydromancy, and as the name suggests, I use the reflections in water bodies to observe the true starry sky. Allow me to demonstrate. Watch closely now. From the present station and movement of the stars, I see. So that successor is a young, female Knight of Favonius.
Doesn't that sound like Lisa?
I suppose if we are looking for a magically inclined person, then yes, it would be Lisa. Although, I question whether she's referring to the successor of the other astrologist, or the successor of the Knights of Mondstadt, because that would apply to Jean, who's also a young woman and a Knight of Favonius. But, on context, I would suppose it's Lisa.
We will meet her here presently.
Oh?
Well, that's all the information we need.
I can't actually perform your astrology, Mona. So just because I know of it,
Seems that even basic
doesn't
astrology
help
can't
with
be
this.
grasped in one go.
You literally created a magic circle to do this.
Never mind,
I
I'll
have no
explain in detail
idea what
later.
you just
She's
did,
here.
really.
Wow, it's you, Mr. Honorary Knight. And Paimon, too. You're back.
Okay, so you meant very young then. Oh my. Well. So the other astrologist was Alice then. Alice's successor, her daughter, Klee. Well, wasn't expecting that.
That's her. The successor
You mean
to great
Klee?
knowledge.
Well, I won't be too surprised by this, frankly. I mean, she literally, despite looking like she's, what, 8? Has been able to create bombs out of thin air and cause gigantic magic explosions. So, the idea that she's also capable of far more, well, wouldn't surprise me. Considering her natural abilities, one can only imagine how powerful she'll be when she grows up. And if she is related to Alice, and Alice happens to be the astrologist that Mona spoke of, well then, It's a bit odd, but I'm not going to say there's some mistake per se. Not yet, anyway.
Successor?
That's right. I am the astrologist who has plumbed the depths of the ocean of stars. Surely you have long calculated my arrival as well.
Unfortunately for you, Mona, just because someone is the successor of an astrologist, well, considering the esoteric nature of your craft, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if the successor didn't even realize they were the successor. Or rather, that the astrologist was looking well into the future to make that assessment. And therefore, at the present, Klee is a little girl, very small child who doesn't know the first thing about what you're talking about. But, in astrological terms,
An ocean of stars?
there's
What's
every reason
that?
to think that
Does
she
it have
is
fish
the
in it?
successor, just not yet.
Fish? No, don't play dumb. Is this some kind of game?
I should be the one saying that. I didn't get what you said at all.
Again, it depends on how far ahead you're talking about succession. Klee probably has the potential for it, but that doesn't mean she is presently a practicing astrologist.
But my predictions can't be mistaken. Well, let's make sure. Your mother's name is Alice, isn't it?
That's right. Oh, so you're Mommy's friend. But she's gone very far away.
My readings told me as much. But before she left, she must have imparted her mystical arts to you, surely.
Mystical arts? I don't get it. Mommy only taught me to make Jumpy Dumpties.
She taught you to make bombs, like I said before. Yeah, no, that's kind of... the idea that her mother taught her how to make explosives and then left her in the care of the Knights of Favonius. Kind of... borderline evil? On the one hand, nice that you're teaching your daughter how to defend herself, but on the other, how the hell do you expect the Knights to deal with the fact that she can literally blow up the city?
So Glee's mother is the friend and rival of Mona's teacher?
Yes. As well versed in astrology as she was, my master knew only astrology. Alice, on the other hand, was skilled in a great many other mystical fields.
Well, Glee's so young. So even if she'd heard this deep knowledge, she might not have understood.
Yes. It seems she has inherited the blood, but not the knowledge. What a miscalculation. There can be no contest like this. Yes. So before Alice left, did she tell you about a 50-year agreement and about a certain box?
Oh, I know. Not this one. Or this one. No, it's not this one either. Ah, I remember now. I buried it together with my new treasure at Windrise.
Why do you always bury important things outdoors, Klee? And your new treasure. The last treasure was a bomb. Honestly, that was kind of a fun one for the simple reason that an abyss mage stole it thinking it was precious only to get blown up. Oh,
Wait for me. I'll be right back.
I think we should chaperone you for this.
Don't just run off. Don't you need the things in your pack?
I'll help her pack these things back in. You go after her. Looking at how rash she is, I worry for the box.
This would certainly be bewildering to Mona, who was expecting a contest of intellectuals, and instead found Flea. Edith's transport request. Hopefully you're taking me toward the tree. Because if that's where you want me to go, I can go there straight away. Okay. Fine, I'll take it. Let's go. Oh, you're a bit... yeah. A bit far off, don't you think? Okay, never mind that. We're going back to dealing with Klee and Mona. I was hoping that would simply be a walk over toward the tree. I'll deal with that later. But, as I was saying, Mona was expecting a contest of wills and intellect, and ran into Klee instead. Who is, well, almost certainly has ridiculously high potential for power, but is still, at present, a child. Oh no, that's a Dendro slime right there. Klee, move away from that, please. This has to be the work of Dendro slimes.
It can't be. I put a sign here. There's no mistake. Ah! Dendro
Yep,
slimes!
there it is. Yep, Dendro slime it is.
We can talk later. Let's take them out first.
It would actually be useful if I could play as Klee for this. Yep. Itty bitty slimes.
To ashes!
Yeah, Klee's pyro would actually be quite useful for this.
Silence!
No matter.
Found it! It's this box. Glad it wasn't damaged in the explosions. Retrieval complete! Let's bring it back.
Certainly. Okay then. Back to the bridge. I wonder what the box even contains. What would Mona's master be so interested in? I wonder what drew Alice away specifically. I mean, it's not as if she didn't know about the 50-year compact. Or did she simply not care? Well, then again, she did leave Klee instructions. Kind of. Klee was too young to take her part in the astrology contest. But she did know about the parcel, so... didn't completely blow it off, I suppose.
You're back at last. The wait was exceedingly dull. I had intended to read a book to pass the time, but this one was just some ridiculous diary. Nothing of note in it at all.
Hold on, are you reading Klee's diary? Why are you doing that?
It dropped from Klee's backpack, so I thought it might contain some ancient knowledge, but...
I see. So, you read a young girl's diary without her permission. But, if I ignore that for a second, I then have to go, oh, you were out to steal magical knowledge without permission. I wonder which would be considered
did you
worse.
find the box?
We did. It's in perfect shape.
That's wonderful! Wait a moment. Why isn't it locked? And why is it empty?
Huh? Well, it's because I borrowed this box to store my treasures.
Borrowed?
But since you're here for the box, I took all my treasures out. That's why it's empty.
You used it to store your things? Then where are the original contents of the box? That's what I want.
Oh, you want the thing that used to be in the box? You should have said so.
You haven't broken it, have you?
No, it's not broken at all. It's the book in your hand.
What? This. So this book, this diary, is that Hag's? It's her diary from 50 years ago? The thing she wanted back after 50 years was the dark history of her youth? I'm finished. No wonder that old woman said I should not look at it no matter what, or she'd rip me to shreds.
Am I in trouble?
No, Clee, you're alright. This is all on Mona.
It was you who said you wanted the box. You didn't say anything about the thing inside. I don't know anything. I'm leaving. Bye.
No, Clee, it's fine. I admit I can be literal like that too sometimes. The touching conclusion.
Well, if you don't say anything, your master won't find out, will she?
Impossible. Astrology can see through all lies. You've seen it yourself. After having spent all my mora to come to Mondstadt, not only have I gained no knowledge, but now I can't return. How did it come to this?
That's so sad. Maybe you could forget everything in that book and then go back.
Oh, exactly.
That's too difficult. And even if I
Too
wanted to stay in
embarrassing.
Mondstadt, it would be...
Of course, if I used the expensive comment, that itself would be embarrassing.
Yes. How can I maintain a proper astrologist's mentality if I stay with all these Philistines?
Well, then you'll just have to go back and face your master.
Stop talking about it. I guess I'll just have to stay in Mondstadt temporarily. Once that old crone's reached the end of her days, I'll be free.
Does that really count as temporary? Again, I'm not sure who your master is. But if they were an Adeptus, then you're staying here for the rest of your life, waiting for her to die. But even if they aren't an Adeptus and are just immortal, that could still be 20, 30 years, depending on how old she is. And that's also forgetting the idea that mortals can live a lot longer in certain instances, particularly when magic is involved.
But what will I do about my astrology research? No, wait, I don't even have a place to stay.
About that, we can go ask Catherine at the Adventurers Guild. Let's see if she can help.
The Adventurers Guild? Ah, right. You can do commissions for them in exchange for... Well, you know what I mean, don't you?
Was always the plan.
Oh, thanks. Never mind, it's nothing.
Hey. Well, I might actually have suggested going to the church instead, seeking harbor from Barbara, or even to the Knights of Avonius. I expect they would appreciate Mona's services, what with her being able to give them fortunes and reveal bandits and such at a glance. I imagine that would be worth a pretty penny to them. It is their job to keep order and hunt down such miscreants, after all. So, taking an active role in the Knights would probably be more lucrative and earn her quite a few friends in Mondstadt. So really, that's what Mona should be doing. Helping the Knights by going and finding bandits for them. It's a start, anyway. Certainly better than, mooching off the Traveler
Ad Astra
to make a
Abyssosque.
living.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. I see. I understand the situation. There is a magic laboratory in Mondstadt that has been sealed by some unknown person. Although we have a few specialists who could break the seal, they all have their own labs and aren't that interested in the matter. I believe that if the astrologist you mentioned can break the seal, the owner of that house wouldn't mind if she stayed there.
I'll take her to go have a look then.
All right. Then allow me to tell you where the house is.
I think I know. As I've run into it on more than one occasion wandering the streets of Mondstadt. Yeah, it's going to be the house with a giant magic blue circle on the door. Yeah, that one. I always wondered what this was, and why it had a Hydro symbol on it. Now, once upon a time, I assumed that this was Mona's house to begin with. That she was living here from the start, but now it would seem that instead she moved here from Liyue. After all, that is what we just did. Interesting development, I suppose.
The person who placed this seal is by no means simple. Breaking this seal by force is nigh on impossible. Interesting. I suppose it's worth using my astrology on. Let me see. I see. So, if you first, and then you...
Well done.
All right, it's open.
Holy moly, that's amazing! Now we just need to go back to Catherine and you'll be able to stay here.
No need, no need. You have my utmost thanks.
You are?
Oh, I'm Goth, the owner of this house. I passed by the Adventurers Guild a while back, and Catherine told me about the matter. I never thought this troublesome seal would be dispelled so quickly.
Does that mean I can stay here?
Of course, of course. The facilities inside were just being left there anyway. I shall rent this building to you at the lowest possible price.
Rent? I didn't hear anything about rent, and I helped out too.
Yes, of course, I understand. I am most thankful to you for that. So rest assured that I will give you the best rates.
I mean...
Paimon thinks Mona's misunderstood something, but...
Save a little here, scrimp a little there, and you'll be fine. Like I said, go to the Knights of Avonius, offer them your astrology ability. Simply offer them knowledge of who the bandits are. That alone is going to be worth a pretty penny. It won't require you doing fortunes for every little thing. Oh well. It's up to her to find out a way to get out of this mess, I suppose.
I guess I don't have any other choice. I'll rent this place.
Great! Then we are agreed. I will go prepare the documentation. Please wait here.
Thanks for your help. Also, well, I'm very sorry, but I won't be able to do what I agreed to help you with just yet. Without the necessary tools and without new knowledge, it will take me some time to see your destiny clearly. But I promise that I'll do a reading for you first thing once I'm ready.
As you said, this journey was all gain and no loss. Yes, indeed. Like I said, Mona, work for the Knights of Avonius. You can help them a lot, and it won't even require you to break your code of conduct. Not any more than you did helping us spot the bandits masquerading as merchants.
Thank you. Our traveling together was fate. And of the good kind, I'd say. I wish you both safe travels. As for me, I need to think of the future as well.
How gonna make a living if she doesn't use astrology to make money? Maybe we should come back and check on her once in a while. It would really be bad if she fainted from hunger in there.
A grim notion to end on. Well, nothing I can do to help her if she's not willing to help herself. How sad. But the seal is finally gone. That's one less mystery in Mondstadt to deal with. And I guess that's the end of our story with Mona. Like I said, she should join the Knights. Use her astrology to figure out who bandits are and where their camps are. That alone would earn her a living. And that's completely leaving aside the notion of just using her magic with her vision to help people. Not even using the astrology, just the water magic. Well,
Water comes in many flavors.
nothing more to do, I suppose. So, I wish you all enough from you. Yvette left you standing too long. And the same would happen if I left Dongli, so I think I'm going to end it here. Good day, everyone.